Bears Nation, welcome back. I'm Brandon Trex High, joined with Annie Up and Uncle Cliff, and we've got 7 picks in the 2025 draft. 4 inside the top 75, 10, 39, 41st, 72nd to reload this roster. And let's Annie Up, but we'll be right back with all of this and more as we talk about the Antwaan Randle sweepstakes and him coming back to his hometown. Stick around.
Let's go. Yo. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts.
All right, folks, welcome back. And we are here, Bears on Tracks, and we are asking a very great question right now. We're talking about something that matters, and that is the Antwaan Randle effect. What does it mean to have him in the building? Let's start off by asking our newest member, Annie Up, a question. I'll ask both of you, though, but first, Annie Up. How does having 4 top 75 selections accelerate this rebuild, Annie Up?
Well, I'm glad we got those. I feel like the rebuild was accelerated once we got Ben and this crazy staff, this strong staff, and now we can just add on with the picks in the top 75 because like we don't have to press and listen to the outside noise because whether we want to admit it or not, I believe previous Bears regimes have listened to outside noise and guiding guys that they know they probably shouldn't have or whatever. But I feel like we can just go BPA and fill the holes. They know what we need better than we know, better than we think we know. So I feel like we can go if we want to go trenches first, cool, and then get the skill position guys after, or vice versa, either or. But I'm really excited about the top picks, the top what's that top 4 in the 75? Yeah, top 4 picks. Come on. So like even if you want to go 2 and 2, however you want to, if you want to throw a defender in there, Dennis Allen loves his D line. So if you want to go DT or DN or whatever. I looked at a couple guys earlier. What's that kid's name? I got it down on my notes. Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. Texas A&M. He's a Dennis Allen guy if I've ever seen one. So he's a D lineman, but he goes D. He's a DN, but he can play in the middle. He's 300 pounds and moves like he's like 265. Big guy, man. Nice moves and get him with our D line coach, and I think he can wreak some havoc. So however you want to do it, it gives us options, man, and I think that'll really strengthen our team and make us formidable. On both sides, on either side of the ball, both sides of the ball. Yes.
Great points. What say you, Cliff? How does having the 4 top 75 selections accelerate this rebuild?
Well, easily, because you're picking 4 in the top 75. So you're absolutely, you've got you got 4 opportunities to really strengthen or fill holes or add depth. Personally, I'd say fill holes and get the best player available, just like Annie Up said. Although I will also add to what Annie Up said, as far as the most exciting thing is this coaching staff. Is it wrong to be this excited about this coaching staff?
Not at all.
No.
Because for me, that is, I think, the best thing so far is the incredible talent they have on the coaching staff. And like you said, we'll get into Antwaan Randle a little bit later. But for me, having 4 in the top 75, I mean, it's a blessing, really is. Yeah. So that's for us struggling for however many years we've been struggling. Now we get kind of we're able to cash in on it, sort of.
Yeah.
As far as the number 10th pick, for me, we all know, or most of the people who have been paying attention to this to the podcast know, I got a love affair with the one and only Tyler Warren. And I know I'm just saying if he's there, I'm taking him. That's me. But we've got an opportunity to cash in on running back early. D-line, like you were saying, Andy, up big. We need help there. D-tackle, edge rusher. I'm also I caught your guys' thing the other day when you were talking about Braxton Jones. And Andy, I agree with you 100%. Blocking, good. Pass protection, for me, I think, and I agree with you what you had said, that he is a solid backup. But as far as a starter, I still want a solid left tackle there, especially in pass rushing to save our boy number 18. Yeah. So for me, 4 in the top 75 is huge. We can really do some damage with that, even if we decide to do a little trading back or something. But I love it. I think it's going to definitely speed up the rebuild that we're kind of in still.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with both you guys. Great points. Now let's talk about one of the main reasons why we're here, why we're in the building, and that is because of Antwaan Randle's return. Antwaan Randle tallied 370 receptions for 4,467 yards and threw the first wide receiver Super Bowl TD pass in Super Bowl XL, baby. What impact will his homecoming have in this wide receiver room, Ante Up?
Well, in my opinion, I feel like, Randle will have a huge impact. To answer your question, Randle, he's been successful at the highest stage in NFL. I mean, he played wide receiver for one of the most storied franchises in NFL history, one of the more successful guys. He knows what it takes to get there. He knows how it looks. He's played with all superstar receivers next to him, had success with Detroit as a coach, as a wide receiver coach. And then I'm just going to throw this in there. I really like Keenan Allen a lot. But I did some research, man, and Chris Beatty was his receivers coach over there with the Chargers. So they were kind of like homeboys, man. And I feel like that played a role. And I feel like if Chris Beatty was not our wide receivers coach, and maybe we had somebody a little less biased, then maybe we would have got a more of a sample size. And I know guys are down on Tyler Scott, but the man never touched the field once. Like, why do we even draft him? Like, why not help develop him, get him out there? Like, he got speed. We needed speed. We were lacking speed from the receiver position last year. So I didn't love the fact that those guys had that tight relationship, and I wasn't too mad that Keenan didn't resign. So but I believe Randle is gonna really help Rome. I know DJ is gonna be DJs. He's had success in the league, and I think he's gonna have more success. But I think the younger guys like the Rome Odunzes and the Tyler Scotts and whoever else we draft, because I know we're going to draft some wideouts and even the free agents, the unsigned free agents and all that. I think that those guys are going to really reap the benefits of a guy who's been there and can, like give them a little toolage and show them what it's like to be a pro and with all of that. So I think that's huge, man. And I think DJ's going to have a huge year, one of his best seasons yet. So I'm looking forward to it.
And he hasn't been removed that far from the game of football as a player either. And also he was a quarterback at IU. I mean, he's got lots of flexibility. What about you? What say you, Uncle Cliff? What impact do you feel that Antwaan Randle will have in his homecoming on this wide receiver room?
Well, there's a couple of things that I think with Randle L is the fact, first and foremost, he's coming to a team that he rooted for as a kid, grew up rooting for. So that's got to be huge for him, and he's got to have some pride in that, So I think that's a big factor. Got that hometown pride, back home, all that stuff. Plus, I think one of the best things that he has to offer the receivers room is the fact that he was a quarterback in college. So he can train them how a quarterback thinks when they're running their routes. Which, as far as where the quarterback is going to find you and how he's going to find you, so he can speak from that side. Plus, he was an NFL wide receiver, and he was a pretty damn good one too. Yeah. So I think he's got he's got the it factor as far as a coach goes. He's a player coach, I would say, and I'm looking forward to it. I think he's going to help out. And one of the things I had said in one of our earlier podcasts when we were talking about bringing in other free agents at wide receiver, why spend the money? I think Tyler Scott, Annie Up had just said. And I'm sorry I keep riding your coattails, Annie.
No, it's fine. Go for it.
You're 100% right. That kid's got some speed, and it's
Yeah.
sad to see that guy sitting on the sidelines. I think
Yeah.
develop them. You know, we spend so much time with these guys, but we don't spend the time developing them. Now is the time with this coaching staff. Are you kidding me? They're going to develop these guys. I'm so stoked to see this group together on the field. So as far as I'm concerned, I think Antwaan Randle is going to have a huge impact on that wide receivers room.
Yeah.
And Randall's already preaching discipline and route precision, guys.
Yep.
Which mantra from his early Halas Hall sessions resonates with you the most? Let's start off with you again, Annie. Up.
I'm going to go route precision if I had to pick one. Of course, both of them are huge, but if I had to pick one, I'm going route precision. I mean, if you look at Detroit's offense over the last couple of years, it was a well-oiled machine, man. I mean, it was predicated on timing and precision and people being in those spots where they're supposed to be. Look at Goff, man. Like, Goff had some good years. He's not a bum. I'm not disrespecting Goff. But, I mean, once he got with Ben and Randle and all those guys, he really turned it up, man. Like, he was a potential Super Bowl quarterback at least. But he mastered it, you know, with St. Brown and Laporta. Those guys knew where to be, when to get there, and literally it was poetry in motion. So I'm going with precision on that one. And that's one thing that we were missing last year. A plethora of things, of course, but that's one of the bigger things that we were missing. The precision. Guys would get out there, and of course, Caleb didn't have time. The world knows that, but. Those Laporta and those St. Browns over there, and even Jameis, what's his name? Jeez, I can't. The fast guy from Detroit, Jameis Williams. He's Williams. He was a precise guy, super fast, but he ran his routes with precision. So Goff didn't have like a cannon of an arm or anything, but the timing and the precision was they had it down pat. So I'm going to take precision on that one if I had to choose one.
Nice. What say you, Cliff?
I say accountability and discipline.
For sure.
Boom. I mean, with that comes the precision, right?
Okay.
So being held accountable, I think, and I'm going to make it simple and quick and to the point. Accountability is my number one thing, and I think that's good for any player, any position on that field. So tired of the lack of accountability, and I think with him coming in, that was one of the biggest things. That, and like I said, accountability and discipline. So for me, that's what I think that's my mantra that he has, and I think that's going to be huge for the Bears.
For sure.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And, here's the thing. It's like this, guys. You look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he was in his face. He's pulling on his face mask on the sideline, getting in his grill, holding him accountable. That stuff's important. That stuff resonates with you. And that's the kind of stuff that we need. And I agree with you. Everything else falls into place once that happens. That is the part of culture that a lot of people don't really understand what culture is.
For sure.
Culture basically is, what can I get away with? That's what it is. When you really unpack culture, it's what can I get away with, and who's going to hold me accountable, and where are we going to go from here? And I really feel like Antwaan Randle is going to be one of those guys where, hey, Ben Johnson says, put your cell phones away, boys. Let's focus on what's in front of us.
Right.
Because if you're asking me as a fan to look at you during the game, why are you not looking at the field out on the same field that you're asking me? Like if I'm in a podcast right now and my head is buried in something other than looking at you, looking on the screen, how dare I ask for your attention? I mean, I get it. And I love these guys. I love Antwaan Randle. I love the old school. And listen, they need it. They need it. And I think he's going to bring it, guys. Let's talk also about somebody who we really like, and we weren't sure what was going to happen with him. I mean, we all wanted an offensive lineman, and rightfully so, because things like this happen. And when that happens, you need to have a backup plan. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we need to talk about Odunze's rookie year. Now, I know we all wanted offensive lineman. As soon as Odunze's name, I started looking at his highlight reel and I said, okay, I see you. Let's go.
Yeah.
But let's talk about his year. Rome Odunze exploded as a rookie with 54 catches, 734 yards, and 3 tutties in 2024. How do you grade his debut and his projection, Annie Up?
I mean, for all the circumstances and everything the Bears went through, man, he gets a very, very solid C plus for man. And I know they left some yards on the field, some tutties and all of that good stuff, which I know that this coaching staff will have them capitalize on this season. But I think with Rome, his skill set, he's a smooth route runner. He's a bigger guy, bigger body, but the way he moves, like I think Randle just alluded to this, but for his size, the way he moves and how he drops down in his drops, gets down in his drops, he moves like a smaller guy and real swift and stuff. So he has all of the skills and everything to be like one of those guys. And I think this is the year that he's gonna really like explode. But he gets a solid C plus from me. In this system, I think he'll thrive. With Caleb having time back there, with us having a competent run game and a solid O line, and Caleb playing under center where we can do a little play action in there. And what we talked about yesterday about making the same things look different. Is that how it goes, Track?
Yeah.
I think they'll throw him in there, probably have him doing running a little bit of X. Where DJ is probably, just being a little decoy or what have you. He can do the jump ball. He can get the jump ball. So I really like Rome. And I think this year he'll, if we're calling out projections and stuff, I think Rome is a 75, 900 to 1,000, 8 tutty. I think if everything goes smoothly, I think he has the potential to do that. And I really like him. It was a bit of a surprise when we did get him, but I wasn't mad. And I thought that last year he had, again, there was some plays left on that field, man. Looking back and looking at highlights and stuff, there was some plays left to be had. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
Coming from a large family with lots of children, lots of mouths to feed, when you can eat like that, when you get 900 yards and 8 touchdowns with all those weapons, that's pretty damn good. I will say that I would like that. That sounds like a good problem. And I'll tell you another thing with Antwaan Randle, he basically, said Harrison was everybody's number one look, then Malik Neighbors, but not him. He was looking at Odunze from day one. So I don't know how much of a caveat it was for him to be excited about being in the same building and being able to, work with Caleb and coach Caleb as it is for Rome Odunze. And I think that's pretty cool. I think that, us being able to check those boxes, and as he said in the press conference yesterday, he now gets to see his parents twice a week.
Right.
All right.
That's pretty special, man. That's pretty special.
No, seriously.
What about you? What are you thinking, Uncle Cliff? Where are you at with this?
Look, with last year's draft, when we were picking at 9 and Atlanta was at 8, and Atlanta did not take Rome Odunze.
Yep.
I was like, you're taking Penix, and you guys need a receiver. You just brought in Kirk Cousins. What are you thinking? And I was like, because I just knew he was coming to the Bears when he was still on the board.
Wow.
I thought he was a hell of a receiver in college. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
I thought his year last year was decent. I mean, I wasn't upset at all. And I heard, there's been a lot of people were, complaining about it. I thought for a rookie and for that offensive line and for you don't know how quick you're going to get open. I mean, you don't know because they're crashing in on Caleb, 68 sacks. So for what he put together last year, I think is pretty solid. I know Annie Up, you gave him a C plus. I'm saying B, a solid B, because what do you expect when your quarterback's running for his life?
70 sacks, right? Yeah.
And I think with Randle L in there helping him out, I would say big things this year. I think 75 catches is fair. I'd say 800 to 900 yards and probably 6 touchdowns. Because remember, you got DJ Moore, and you're going to have somebody else. Let's hope Cole Kmet. they involve him.
Gets back in the fold, right? Oh my goodness, that's another talk show.
But so I'm thinking he's going to have a solid year. So I'm looking forward to it. I like the kid. I think he showed me a lot last year. Great attitude and just a good dude. So I'm looking forward to a nice year from him this year.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm excited about it. I cannot wait. This is going to be a very good thing moving forward. But you know what? What I find interesting and something that I really took a good look at is where the hierarchy is going to be at, because now all of a sudden we got some pretty good receivers in the building. Not just one, not just two, but we're loaded, man. So do you guys think, we'll start out with you, Uncle Cliff. Do you guys think that Will Odunze will unseat DJ Moore, who's piled up 7,531 career yards and notched 966 yards and 6 touchdowns in 24? Or do they form a perfect 1-2 punch?
I don't think he's going to unseat DJ Moore for number one. I think it's going to be a solid 1-2 punch. DJ Moore is incredible. I mean, probably one of the best wide receivers we've had since Brandon Marshall.
It's been a while.
Or you could say maybe Alshon Jeffrey, but I think DJ Moore is better than Alshon Jeffrey. I think DJ Moore is a solid number one, and I can't wait to see him, especially again with Antwaan Randle L. Not only that, Ben Johnson's offense. I think it's going to be DJ, then Odunze, and I'd like to see Tyler Scott. I would. I think that he's got some speed, and that's what we need, somebody to take the top off and stretch that field. So I think it's going to be a great 1-2 punch with Odunze and Moore being the number one.
Yeah, I sure hope so. That'd be great, man. That would be a great. What say you? What do you think about this Annie Up? Where do you see them at?
I'm going to coattail Uncle Cliff, and I say it'll be I don't think he'll unseat him. And then, we got some good guys, like not just good football players. Those guys actually like each other over there. Right. So that's a plus. And, he's still learning, and he's gonna learn. Randall, he got Randall L over there, and he still got DJ to teach him other little things. DJ is a seasoned vet. So I do think, because of Ben, the way Ben runs his offense, that, like I said, sometimes it'll be Rome will definitely be the X on plays and certain formations and stuff without any issues. We don't got any egos and none of that stuff. So I just think that's how it'll go. But if it's like what top cornerback is going to cover, I think the top cornerback on the opposing team will probably always shadow DJ. Most of the time, I'll say, not always, but most of the time. And because DJ, he just re-signed, got a big check, and he still got, and let's just, I want to tackle this real quick, man. Last year, when everybody was giving him flack they said, and this is not what happened, they said he walked off the field or something. Bro, like, if you go back and look at it, something happened to that guy, man. Like, he tweaked something, bro. And like, he didn't just say, "Oh, I'm done with this." Now, granted, his body language was a little off, but if you're getting your ass every game and going on a 10-game losing streak, I mean, who's coming out there all smiles and stuff, showing all 32? So, like, I just want to clear that up, man. That dude didn't give up. I mean, he had something happen. Somebody fell on the back of him or something, and he kind of, straggled off a little bit. And I just, I didn't even try to defend him on YouTube, because you'll lose once people get it in their head. But I'm saying it now, that dude didn't quit. It was a tough season for all parties involved. But DJ, to get back on track, DJ is going to be the number one still. And it'll be a couple years. I think Rome probably in maybe year 3, then we could start having this conversation. We can dig this conversation up again.
I was just gonna say that I think DJ Moore definitely going to be the better of the two this year. But I think the following year, look out. Those two are going to be neck and neck.
For sure, I agree.
But the only reason why that happened was because our Poles did his due diligence and went out and got Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen was a verifiable coach on the field. He was a player coach, and he did a lot of good things. And listen, it's malpractice if you put a rookie out there with just DJ Moore and that's it.
Yeah.
You got to have another guy in the building in case one goes down. You can't put that all on the rookie. especially when we're just running plays to run plays. That's another thing I want to touch on. This year, we're actually going to run plays that make sense. And we're going to look at, scheme situations and matchups and this defensive back versus this receiver. And there'll be games where DJ Moore will be outsized and he's not going to go up as well as Rome Odunze and vice versa. So it's all going to be according to matchups, and that's what you want to do. You don't want to pigeonhole yourself,
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
With that talent we have right now, just in those two guys, that talent right there is going to spell trouble for the defensive backfield of whoever we're facing. Because if one's covered, the other one better be covered. If he's not, look out. Because then you got whoever's running the slot or whoever's running the other route. I mean, hopefully, like I said, Komet.
Ty Warren.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, Tyler Warren. But I think it's going to be. I'm really, like I said, I'm really excited to see what the whole team, for that matter, not just the offense, but I'm excited to see what Dennis Allen brings and what Ben Johnson does with his team. It's time for us to stop being. I'm tired of the suck. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you brought up a good point, and you got to look at it all the way around from every position and every angle. And you have to be stacked, because if one guy goes down, now you're limited, and I like that. If you go get a guy in Ty Warren or Loveland or whoever it may be, now all of a sudden you're stacked. I mean, make no mistake about it. We went out and got the kid from, the tight end from Miami. I like him. He's got familiarity with Ben Johnson when he was a receiver coach over there. So it's not like he's trying something new with the guy. He already knows what he's got. And he is top 10 pass blocking tight end in the NFL. So
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, he's pretty fantastic. And if you look at a lot of the clutch plays when, the quarterback over there was in trouble, he checked down. He checked down to his tight end. He always looked at his tight end, and Tua knew where to go to. And that's kind of another guy that you want there. You want to have a good, I'd say 3 or 4 tight ends. I've seen a stack as many as 5 tight ends.
I have.
I mean, that's just kind of where I'm at with it all.
And Ben loves his tight end, his dual tight end set. So that means a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And and he said the perfect thing. Ben already showed his hand without showing his hand. He says he wants to do the same thing, but make it look different.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling everybody that he's going to do something different than the Lions, but it's going to be the same thing. It's just going to be a different personnel, and it's going to look different, but it's going to be the same damn thing.
We hope.
Yeah. Oh, it is. And in some areas it'll be better. In some areas it'll be better. In some areas it'll be, learning curve and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't take it's not going to happen right away, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I feel it's going to be good. At least it's projected to be good. Now, before we get into this, I want to get into something really cool that I saw today. The Cubs just kicked off their game at 1:20, and look who throws out the first pitch. The coach, Ben Johnson, baby.
Coach.
He's been coming to these games for over a decade, man. He is a diehard North Sider. He loves the area. And what's not to love about that? Whether you're a Sox, whether you're a Cubs, you are a Bears fan. And that is awesome to know.
Right.
That he automatically has that built-in love for Chicago, man. And you could see it. I love the fact that he showed up today. It's really cool. There's another person that showed up recently, and let's take a look at this guy. Maybe you guys will recognize him. Heads up. Man, I'll tell you what, the launch angle on that thing is amazing. But here's what else is amazing. In the third, he was still there with the Bulls getting blown out.
Yeah.
And he was there taking pictures with kids, with fans. I mean, he's all about it, man. I don't know if you guys know this or not yet, but Kennedy just got in the portal, and now he is a USC Trojan. He is a USC Trojan. Kennedy Urlacher went to Notre Dame, and now he's with USC. So that's some exciting news. That's really cool. He's definitely going to get a lot more playing time. I talked to Brian Urlacher a little bit ago. He's excited for him. Try to get an interview with him, and he says he's just trying to be cool with him right now, but we'll see what happens in the future. So I'd love to have that. Would
not
be
a no.
That, right. Well, we've already had Brian on the show, but it would be really cool to have a father-son show at different, and then bring them on together, man. That would be really dope, you know? Sure. But yeah, man, I just love this kid. I love his character. I love his charisma. I love his style. I love his passion. And since day one, he's just shown that he's all in Chicago. Him and also Ben, man, it's really cool. It's really refreshing. Now, Caleb Williams threw for 3,541 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions as a rookie. How critical is his bite-sized coaching approach for his growth, would you say, Annie Up?
Oh, man. Well, with Caleb is special. I don't care what anyone says. I have my blinders on to the haters when it comes to Caleb, and it's for a reason, man. I mean, I love what Jaden did, man. Kudos to him over there. But I was always a get Caleb guy. I was never if Caleb wasn't there, of course I would have said let's go Jaden. But I say all that to say, Caleb isn't used to losing like he lost, and he just spoke on that, and I love the fact of his he was refreshingly transparent about it, and him crying sometimes. I'd cry too, man. I hate to lose, bro. I probably hate losing, and I'm quoting Joe Kim Noah, probably hate losing more than I like winning, but he went out there week after week, man, getting pummeled to the tune of 68, 70 sacks, and that's not even counting the QB hits that he took. So getting brutalized out there, man, and he still came to ball, man. Did he miss a game? He didn't miss a game this year. He didn't miss a game.
No,
didn't miss one game.
First time in the history of ever that's actually happened. And to boot, there's actually now one extra game played. And I'll tell you what, they came at him hard, and never once did he throw his offensive line under the bus. Not one time, man.
And he won't get credit for that, man. He won't get credit for that, but we're going to give it to him today. And it's critical, man. It's super critical about getting in this building early, getting with these guys. And let's just be honest. Everybody says you don't have to like who you work for. You don't. That's a good point. It's a bunch of people at work that I could do without, but I still go in there with a good attitude every day. And just imagine if you do like them. You know what I mean? If you do respect them, if you do appreciate them, I think you go that extra mile. So Caleb's aware of the fact that, he wants to be great. We all know that. And he didn't go. Peyton Manning threw, I think, 28 or 26 or 28 picks his first year. And I'm always going to go back to that because that dude is a legend. Caleb threw 6. So what we saw was Caleb, he's not an interception thrower. And in turn, it made him hold on to that rock a little long. So, okay. I think right now, that'll be the first thing they attack in camp, timing and getting rid of the rock, whether that be throw it away or getting it to the check down, the first, second, third read, however you got to do it. But he can't take that abuse again. And I'm glad that Ben and the staff got over here real fast, got acquainted with these guys. And they know that they got a special guy. Ben saw us 2 times a year for 2-3 years. Well, even though Caleb, that was his first year, but he saw us twice a year. He knows about Caleb. So I think he couldn't wait to get over here and talk to him. And he saw something. This is just me. And I don't know if I'll get any love for this, but it's cool. I'll stand alone. If you can do it with Jared Goff, bro, and I know no two teams are the same, but if you can do it with Jared, I never saw Jared lighten up the league like he just did over there, man. And I know it wasn't all Ben, but come on, if you can do it with Goff, let's get this phenom out there and let's stack up some wins, and the stats and stuff will come. What do you have? 3,600 yards, 20 TDs, 6 picks, bro. Like with all that we went through, he ain't got sacked 70 times. Come on, bro. So yeah, man. I don't even remember the question anymore. I just got in my feelings. Pardon me. But yeah, man. It was huge though. That sample size, they know what they got there. And if Caleb can do that with that carousel on the O line that he had, damn near what do you call it, a turnstile to the quarterback. Running game was hit or miss. You know, I think right now, yeah, he can, 4,000 yards, here he comes.
You forgot one major thing.
What's that? Track?
Play calling was atrocious. We were calling plays just to, hey, let's do a run play. Okay.
That's the most important thing. Yes, I did forget that. You're right.
One thing to back up your point about Peyton Manning, the sheriff. You look at him, and the thing that turned him from a rookie into a sophomore season in the NFL, Tom Moore got a hold of him. He said, you got 3 seconds to get rid of the ball. That was it. That's all he had to tell him. That's all he had to tell him, and it's flipped the switch. And I'm here to tell you right now, folks, Caleb, and I said this to Jim Miller, my co-host. I said, listen, Jim, I'm going to stand there with my goggles on, and I'm going to have a paintball gun. And if he holds onto that ball more than 2.5 seconds and the whistle already gets blown, the next thing that comes after him is a paintball right to his nuts. And I'm guaranteeing you, after a while, Caleb is going to start freaking throwing that rock faster than the word of God, you know. So he said that's a little too aggressive, and I agree with him. We got to do something. We got to do something over there. What say you, though? What say you over there, Uncle Cliff, about Caleb's coaching roadmap? How critical is this bite-sized coaching approach for his growth, what we've seen so far?
Well, again, here's the thing, and I'll go back to what happened when we drafted him. I was the guy that wanted to build the team, so I was looking for the draft capital. I'll be honest. Not that I had any problem with Caleb. That wasn't the thing. We've never built a team. It was always, we're going to grab this guy, we're going to pay for this guy to come in, and so. To the get-go, and I'm just being honest, because if you ask me a question, I'll tell you exactly what I think. So for me, but when they drafted Caleb, I'm like, all right, cool. All right, I got no problem with that. But the problem I had was keeping the old coaching staff. Because if you're going to bring in a rookie and you're going to leave him for Eberflus and, that coaching carousel at offensive coordinator, then you're in trouble. But as far as a bite-sized coaching approach for Caleb, I think it's wise to keep it small and let him grow into it. But I think the biggest thing for Caleb, even outside the coaching staff, is the offensive line. Last year it was atrocious. Everybody knows it. And you brought in 3 monsters up front. I'm still a little questionable about Jackson, just because he's didn't play 4 games last year. But I'm okay with it. I'm like, okay, let's see how this. But as soon as that offensive line gels, forget about it. That's where the key is. As far as coaching, I think I love the fact that Caleb was right there when Ben Johnson was brought in. He was at the press conference. So was DJ Moore and Rome Odunze. And I love the fact that the players were there. And to me, I think it shows that they respect him, which is key. You got to have the players. They're going to war for you. They got to respect their general. Yeah. So for me, I think that's the huge part. I think the whole thing for Caleb, I'm like you, Annie. I'm thinking high 3,000s, maybe even a 4,000 yard passing year for him. I look to improve the TDs and lower the interceptions. I'm good with.
I was too.
I mean, I think the kid's got some talent. I don't have any problem with him painting his nails either. If he wants to paint his nails, go ahead. I might even paint mine if we go to the Super Bowl. I probably will. So
you might already do.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, I think I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be huge for that kid's development, and I'm excited.
No, I'll tell you what. I was looking at it, and I said, I see this guy going over 5,000 yards in today's NFL. But in today's NFL, I do see something different that correlates with success. Of the 6 teams that were in the playoffs, they ran the ball 43% of the time or more. So with that being known and knowing that Ben Johnson likes to run first, I actually see where the numbers around the 4,000 to 4,500. Hey, and listen, I get it. if the numbers are not exactly what we meet, but we still win, and even if we don't win, but we still see progression in this first year with a lot of moving pieces. Because guess what, guys? There is a big return on the defensive side of the ball, but not so much on the offense. There's a lot of new moving pieces, the entire new offensive line, the defensive line is being rebuilt, and we have a new signal caller on both sides of the ball. Most importantly, the defensive side of the ball, which is critical. There's a lot going on here. And we need to, keep that in our lens and understand that if we see progression and people are growing and people are building, it's okay. It's a regression that I would be concerned about. And I don't think we'll see that,
The only way we'd see a regression is if we didn't make the changes we did in the offseason.
Right.
I think. I don't think there's going to be a regression whatsoever. I guess there could be, but really, I mean.
Well, and here's the thing too. You have to back up your backups. You got to have, it's like hockey. You got to have like 3 line changes of guys ready to go because this can happen. And guess what? Why do you think the hell Ben Johnson is doing it? This guy had like 20 something he had half his team on the freaking IR and they still made it to the playoffs, man.
Facts. Yeah, you're right.
He ain't standing on stupid. He already been there and he's done that, dude. And guess what? Now he's going to approach the draft. The free agency still ain't over with. That's why the man's got bags under his eyes and he's not trying to look pretty with a dad bod and a fresh new beard like Matt Eberfale. He is doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I really think that this is going to be good. Now let's move on over to the running back room. The running back room identity. What's it going to look like? Well, here we go. DeAndre Swift handled the ball 253 carries for 959 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns, plus 42 catches and nearly 400 yards in 2024. Which style?
The offensive line.
Yeah.
Wow. Right.
Which style? And you talk to Owen, and he actually says they run blocked better than they pass blocked. And if you ran the ball to the left side of the ball instead of the right side of the ball, they actually won the point of contact in the push better on the left side than the right side. So it didn't really make a whole lot of sense or a hill of beans why they did a draw up the middle and ran to the right more than they should have ran to the left. But that's neither here nor there. Getting back on track, which style of rookie running back best complements Swift? Who do you guys see out there? I'll start with you, Uncle Cliff. Who do you see out there that would be a good rookie running back that would complement Swift?
Well, I mean, if he's there, Genty. That would be a great 1-2 punch there. If he's not there, I'd say maybe Hampton from North Carolina.
Okay.
But actually, Hampton, I guess, is a lot more like DeAndre Swift, isn't he?
Hampton has the twitch like a Swift, but Hampton is he'll bowl you over in a second.
Yeah.
I think he's got better vision, and for me, it's handling the rock, which he's horrible at, and so is Genty. Matter of fact, the top 7 workhorses in the NCAA are the worst, but they also have the top carries too. So there is a correlation to having the ball all the damn time and fumbling it. But I guarantee you, Eric Bieniemy is going to be out there with a cattle prod taking care of that.
Well, the funny thing is I really don't have a problem with Roschon Johnson either.
No.
I don't know his health wise because it seemed to be he was hurt he didn't see a lot of action last year either.
Yeah.
So that to me, and I know I'm going to get crap for this, but to me, I think the running back room right now is okay. I don't really have a problem with what we have there. I really don't. Because again, we have to wait and see how this line gels. Once this line that we have developed or brought in gels, these guys could be, Swift could be over like 1,200 yards, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So for me, I think I like what we have right now. I do. But I know they'll probably grab a running back, which they should grab a running back in the draft. I just don't know. Do you want to spend a 10th pick on a running back? Or, I mean, because, what everybody's saying is running back, you don't take him in the first round or whatever. But if you have somebody who really is your guy, you got to go for it. To me,
absolutely,
I'd say stay put. 10th round to get somebody who's a game changer, I guess. But I'm good with what we have right now. I am.
Now the chat is calling for, Hampton, and Omarion Hampton is a good guy. He's very swift. He's very fast. He can catch the ball. He has really good vision, and he could take it to the next level for sure. I will say this. I will agree that I think it's going to be on the offensive side of the ball at pick 10. He's going to end up being the offensive playmaker that the Chicago Bears need, because making sure Caleb Williams succeeds in year 2 trumps everything else in the building. Adding a defensive tackle or defensive end will happen on day 2. Ben Johnson was brought here to fix the damn offense and maximize Caleb Williams. That's what it was about. If we wanted a defensive-minded head coach, we would have went in another direction. But I'm calling it right now, just like Eberflus, when he came in a few years ago, that what did they go do? Pohl said, hey, guess what? Who do you want? He went out and got Brisker and Gordon. I think the first pick for the Chicago Bears, it's going to be on the offensive side of the ball. Now, 31 and 41, that's a different story. I believe that'll be defensive end or defensive tackle. But who do you think is going to complement? And listen, I'm not mad if at 10 we find the running back, as long as we know that he's getting a lion's share. If the entire offense runs through this kid 50% of the time, that's a lot. 50% of the damn time is a lot. There are freaking running backs out there that get like 62% of the time. That means 38% of the time you're getting running back 2, receivers, tight ends, everybody else in the building, pairing them with this guy that's doing all of it. And that's not really all of it like back in the day of Walter, but that's today's all of it. So that's a lot. So if you go get a guy that does that, now I think in the 10th pick is a little bit rich for a running back, offensive lineman. Okay, I'm good with that. But if you could get a guy in Scatterbo, if you could get a guy in Chris Johnson, which, hey, I think he's tailored to be on this team. You've already got Caleb, spelled differently with a C, Caleb Williams, and you got Ben Johnson. Let's bring in Caleb Johnson. It makes sense, man. The only difference is number 2 is already spoken for. That's DJ Moore. So you better find another jersey. So what say you? Where's your take on all this? Who would you like to see in all this, Annie, up as far as a rookie complimentary running back to pair with DeAndre Swift?
Now, I told you it switches from day to day. Yesterday, I was like, hey, trenches. But no, seriously, I like a lot of those guys, but I'm partial to those guys at Ohio State. I am, because I don't care what anyone says until they show me footage that Trey Henderson is the best blocking back in the draft. And I feel like he got the home run here. D-Nice did bring up he didn't love his vision. Okay. All right. That's one. But other than that, I love the kid. And he doesn't fumble a lot. So if you look it up, I don't know if he fumbled. I don't know if he fumbled in some years. Seriously, don't quote me, but he doesn't fumble that rock. So I really love Trey Henderson, and I'm gonna die on a Trey Henderson hill. He blocks. That's beautiful. I don't care how many great offensive linemen we have. If you got a back there who can play cleanup guy, that's awesome. You can do the 2-back set, so you can put Swift over there or whatever. But I like Junkins too, Quinshon Junkins. I like him as well. I like Trey a little more, but I like Junkins. I like Caleb. I like Omarion. But if I had to choose, I would go. And I think Trey will be there after we address the trenches with 10 or whatever we do with 10. If Genty isn't there or whatever, Trey will be there for our next pick, and I believe so. I'm going Trey Henderson, and I'm sticking with that one, man.
I'm not mad at you, because I looked at his pro comp, and he is a not a towards the end of his career when he was at the highest point of his career, but at the younger point of his career, his pro comp is Matt Forte. Now Forte,
I didn't know that.
Matt Forte did a little bit of everything good. He didn't do any one thing great. He could catch the ball, he could run the ball, he could block, He made sure we didn't have to worry about him coughing it up or anything like that.
Yeah.
If we could get another Matt Forte in the building paired with Ben Johnson's style, hey, man, I'm not mad at that either.
That's
I don't think you need a guy that has to run the ball 80% all the time. I do think that you need a guy who's able to catch the ball, block, have his head on the swivel, be that release valve for Caleb when he's in trouble and they got familiarity. You better be quick on your feet and fast with being able to get that ball out of the grass and pick it up, any of those type of things. He needs to do, like I said, a little bit of everything well. I think that's what Henderson will do. I like both your guys's ideas, by the way. And man, Genty is freaking amazing. He is so freaking good. But let's talk about another coach, if you guys don't mind. Let's talk about a guy in Eric Bieniemy, man. Oh my God. Okay. His vision. Let's talk about Eric Bieniemy's vision. Okay. Eric Bieniemy is known for unlocking running backs' creativity. What wrinkles should he unleash with Swift and the incoming rookie? What would you like to see over there, Annie Up?
Oh man, like I just said, I want to see, since Caleb likes the shotgun, although like they say, he's going to be playing under center a little more. I would like to see the double back shotgun with one on this side, one on this side. That's confusing, even on Madden, bro. Like seriously, you can have Swift over here, the new guy over here, and fake it to him, have him do it. Caleb can get a few yards. It's so many options with that. So the dual back shotgun set, I would love to see that, man. And or you can just have those guys block and have 3 wide and just have all the time in the world, or whatever you want to do, man. I think you can. The world is your oyster once you get that set and got the capable guys back there. So I would like to see that. I haven't seen the Bears in that since Cutler, bro. Seriously.
What about you? What would you like to see with Eric Bieniemy? What would you like to see Uncle Cliff? What is something that he could potentially do for us and for that running back room? Not only who's already there, but the incoming rookie.
I think for Eric Bieniemy, first and foremost, it's a crime that this guy has not been offered a head coaching position.
Yes,
and to be floating around from team to team. I think this guy is solid. He's a great coach. But the number one thing that he hard work. I mean, he is like he wants people to knuckle down, and he doesn't want any bullshit, if you will. So for me, I look at him as probably the how do I say this? The X factor when it comes to the offensive, or the running backs, and being unorthodox and not being, if you will, cookie cutter is and he's got a great imagination too. So that to me is huge. He not being cookie cutter, being creative and definitely making the guys work, making them work and making it tough on them. That's what I like. The grit.
Earn it. Yep, grit.
That's what I think.
Yeah. I feel like he's going to do that. I feel like he's not going to pass on, these little participation trophies or something like that. He's going to be like Akeem. Okay. When Akeem worked his butt off, he earned that award. Okay. No more participation trophies out there.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Real quick, guys. I'm sorry before I forget. 667 touches, 4,614 yards, 48 TDs, and 0 fumbles. That's Trey Henderson, by the way.
There you go.
Wow. I think it's over 6 yards a carry too, ain't it?
Come on. It gotta be, man. It has to be. Yeah, 6.4 to be exact, Track.
Yeah. Yep. So
That's crazy.
Listen. I want to get into, and let's switch gears, okay? We are already at we're really long in the tooth on this show, but there's a lot to unpack, right? Defense versatility. Kyler Gordon in the building, man. Just got the bag, man. Shout out to Kyler Gordon.
Shout out.
Kyler Gordon logged 67.9% defensive snaps in 2024. Where else do you see him lining up under Dennis Allen's approach? What say you, Annie Up?
Man, I think the sky's the limit with that kid. He had time to, he been playing nickel. He had time to master that for the most part. So now Dennis Allen, he likes to get a little exotic and bring pressures, and you're gonna have to man up. And I really like, I love Brisker, and I love what's the other guy name? What's the other safety? My goodness. Byard. Yeah, Byard. He's solid, man, especially for all the years he's put in. I like how he moves out there. He's a super heady player. Also, when you want to get exotic and those guys got to man up on those dudes in the slot, it's a mismatch. Let's just be honest. So now you can put Kyler at safety, and you can rotate that dude down, and he can handle the guy in the slot, still all while playing safety, or play one high, or however you want to do it. You can get real exotic with it. So I think like Dennis let it be known, and I love these coaches for one, because on both sides so far, from what I hear, they're super matter of fact, man. It's not that that passivity and all of that stuff, man. We don't have time for that. These guys are millionaires. They get paid handsomely to go out there and play a pretty brutal game. So let's make these guys, let's let them, make them, or help them reach their full potential. And I think the sky's the limit for Skyler. He might even play a little bit of linebacker in a dime set. Who knows? We gotta. I think with Dennis Allen, it's just like wait and see. He might be like what do you call, what's the guy? I think either you or D Nice. I think it was you, Trax, but he might be Honey Badger out there for us.
Yeah, and I do like the way that he tackles. He's a good quality tackler.
For sure,
he's not afraid of contact. What say you though, Uncle Cliff? With defensive versatility, the topic that we're talking about, where else do you see Kyler Gordon lining up under Dennis Allen's regime?
Well, I can definitely see him, doing a lot of blitz package and taking over the, nickel package and stuff like that. I can see him. I think like Annie Up was saying, with him and Byard, you can basically move Kyler around as much as you want, really, and then hopefully with Brisker's health being okay. Man, that's those two right there, and I think they belonged 1 and 2 when they were picked, because Kyler and Brisker were just ridiculous to me. I think it really showed how good Gordon was when Kyler was out, because beforehand, I'm sorry, when Brisker was injured and missed the 12 games.
Yeah.
And Gordon really came through, and because beforehand, Brisker was a beast back there, and Gordon was solid, but you didn't really notice it until Brisker was out.
That's a good point.
Or for me, I didn't notice it as much until Brisker got down with the concussion and it was in concussion protocol. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they have dialed up. I think there is a need at safety, though, when we come to the draft. I think we should probably draft a safety, because we've got, do we have any, other than Kyler Gordon, nobody else after this year, right, is under contract, I think.
Yeah. From Cal, the safety, he actually did pretty good. His actual
which one is that?
From
Elijah
Cal.
Hicks.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Elijah Hicks.
I forgot.
He played better than I gave him credit. I did not like him until last year. I couldn't stand the guy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, seriously, bro, he made me itch. But last year he stepped it up a little. So I'll give him his props.
I forgot about him.
He leveled up, man. He's definitely a good safety for sure. Well, and here's the thing, we're playing in the NFC North, and we've got a lot of, as far as secondary matchup goes, you got a lot of like Julio Jones type wide receivers everywhere in the NFC North, man. Everywhere you look. Which coverage will look as far as Gordon and company, what do you think they will deploy the most? What type of coverage do you think will they deploy the most, guys?
Me personally, I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping they cover man.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the cover who, but I'd like to see the man-to-man matchups, you know, Jalen. You know, he wants the number one guy, so let JJ take him. That's what I'd like to see.
I think in the early running downs, you know, 1 and 2, you look at those and I see us in a cover 1, which is a man. Now in the later, I see cover 4, which you're talking about, which would be, you know, man quarters, then into zone, you know, depending on where, you know, and everybody's got it. That's why they call it quarters, because you've got, you know, areas responsibility for the defensive backs and the safeties, and it's all split out into quarters. And you start out in man, and now you've got a really good run defense, but you can also, you know, transition into like, you know, like a hybrid zone. I think that's something that you really need to look at in downs 3 and 4. I think it could be very, very twitchy. It could be very misleading and help us out. And I think that's what I like about Dennis Allen, is he likes to disguise things. Things are going to look that very similar, but they're going to be different. And when you deploy guys that play multiple positions, I really think that that's where you have an advantage, especially when they go up tempo. When you get guys that are starting to look at other positions and play those in a comfortable way, now all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, now I've got to do this, and I've never done this before. I'm gonna we're screwed, coach. Why? Why? You know, so I think this is really good. But I like what you said there. I do like, you know, man. I see the benefit in man and zone, but I do like what you see there. What say you, Annie? Up? What do you see?
It's Dennis Allen, so I'm definitely feeling like he's going to deploy a bunch of man out there, lead those guys on the island, let them earn their checks, which I'm looking forward to. The only, like I said yesterday, the only guy I had a little apprehension about was Tariq Stevenson in man, because most times I saw him in man, he was getting cooked. Like he said, though, everybody's going to get cooked every now and again, but he's been Al Harris has taken him under his wing. I was not one of the people who fried him for the little mishap and with the failed Mary. Because if you go back and look at the tape, he's the guy that actually smacked the ball away. Even though he was over there chatting with the fans, he ran all the way over there, which was like 25 yards, and smacked the ball away, and it happened to fall in the guy's hand. So I wasn't one of the guys that killed him for that. I couldn't understand. People were saying cut him and all type of outlandish things. But I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more man. And then once they feel like they got a beat on our man coverage, and then like you said, Trax, now we can hit them with something that looks like man, but now we're zoning it up or whatever. So I'm just looking for, it was times last year where we would have 3rd and long. We played our ass off the first and second down, and then now you got 3rd, and now we're sitting back and not bringing any pressure. And these guys got time to slash us, and then they get us right out the gut for 15. And in our defense, you can just see their shoulders drop. And I don't think that's going to happen a lot with my guy Dennis Allen. He's going to go get him off the field. Let's get Caleb out there and get some tutties.
Well, no, you mentioned Tyreek Stevenson, right? The fail Mary. To me, that wouldn't have happened under this coaching staff.
No way.
The problem I think with Stevenson last year was that he wasn't held accountable. I was ticked off. I thought he should have been benched after that, because it's like, just wait until the game's over with and then jaw jack with the fans. But that's me. And but I think with this coaching staff and with Harris back there coaching the DBs and stuff, I think it's going to be this is going to be a big year for him, I think. Because the guy, I love the way that guy hits. I do.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm looking forward to that.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to him also. I think it's going to be great. I do like the way that some people aren't a fan of it, but Dennis Allen absolutely loves the Tampa 2. And so I think there's going to be a big focus on what we have in the building as far as linebackers. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in the draft and beyond with the free agents, because there's a big area of responsibility when you look at the Tampa 2. Very similar to cover 2, but the responsibilities are different in Tampa 2. So, but let's talk a little bit about the O-line fortress, man, the offensive line fortress. You guys know that has been a huge area of concern, man. huge area of concern
for years.
For years, man. And to protect the franchise, Chicago gave up a 2026 fourth rounder for two-time All-Pro guard Joe Thuney. How quickly does he and Jonah Jackson solidify this offensive line? What would you say there, Uncle Cliff?
Well, to me, I would take Jonah Jackson out, and I would put
Dalman.
Yes, thank you. Those two. But we have to have Jonah. I mean, I don't mean to be too harsh on Jonah Jackson.
No.
I'm just kind of questioning. That was the one when we got him, like, oh, okay. We needed it. I mean, we needed the middle three. But I think those three guys, the center and Thuney and Jackson, how long will it take them to jive? It's going to take a little time. Of course, it always does when you got new guys working together. Yeah. But I think it's going to be a lot quicker.
Yeah,
because you got Thuney, who's got what, 3 rings, and I mean, come on, the dude from Atlanta, center,
Dahman.
Yeah. Thank you. Why am I'm forgetting? But that dude, that cat, wanting to come to Chicago, and same thing with Thuney, although he was traded for, but he was really sinking his teeth in to being a Bear. I think Jonah being reunited with Ben is huge. So I'm looking for it to go rather quickly. Those guys solidifying that front line, the middle part. I think with Wright, I don't think you have to worry about it. I'm good with Wright. Again, left tackle is my only. Left tackle is my Achilles heel on that offensive line right now, and I hate to say it, but I think that's the weakest point. That's the weakest link in the chain. So I don't think it's going to take too long for them to gel. I would say maybe by week 3 they should be pretty solid, with no injuries, hopefully. But
you know what I find funny in what you just said there, and I'll unpack this in the most realist terms possible for the fans out there. How freaking spoiled are we? I mean, literally, just a little bit ago, we had none of those 3 guys in the building. None of them. And we're complaining that we don't have a bona fide left tackle. How many freaking offensive lines in the NFL have all 5 guys that you just fall in love with?
Simple answer for you, Trax. We're Bear fans. Of course we're going to be, fickle about whatever we have. So, I mean, that's simple. For me, it's been since 1970. Okay. So I'm telling you, I'm 61. I'm an old fart, but I've seen atrocious and I've seen phenomenal. And it's been a long time since I've seen phenomenal. So yeah, I'm going to be very critical on that offensive line, as every other Bear fan should be, because we've been waiting for studs and we've had duds. So hopefully we fix it.
And we haven't been in a position like this either, where we attacked it, like just totally attacked it this year, and then we got a top 10 pick, and then 4 in the first 75. Like this is uncharted territory for us.
That's my point. That's my point.
Yeah. Facts. I did just prove your point.
We just said much earlier in the show, literally probably
running out of my screwdriver, by the way.
1 hour ago, and 8 minutes later, we probably said earlier in the show that, hey, we're not going to fix everything in the draft. We're not going to fix the offensive line in the free agency either, but he did a pretty damn good job at it. So I'm pretty happy.
Dude, compared to last year, I think he fixed it already, even though we have a weak link.
And we haven't even allowed the coaches to do what they need to do.
And that was what you were stressing yesterday. That's why I'm like, all right, I kind of brought it down a few thousand notches. So I want to let the coaches do their thing. But to answer that question, I think it's going to be immediate, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. I think as soon as we take that field for week 1, we're going to be. I mean, because look, when you got a quarterback that got sacked 70 times, 70, that trips me out. It makes my bones hurt just thinking about it. But if you got a quarterback that got beat up like that, and then now you got a multi Super Bowl winner, like a big dude, and that guy doesn't play in the middle. And that's the thing. Think about when Olin didn't get to win any rings, but Olin was a dog in that middle. He wasn't the biggest guy. He was smart and he was tough as nails.
Yep.
So now you got Olin 2.0 in the middle, and he made guys that weren't all that a lot better just because that middle was solidified. So I think now we got Dalman is one of the best we had at that position. Like, let's be real. That guy he's smart, he's strong. You know what I mean? So I think Jonah Jackson's going to get on board. He has no choice. And like you say, with these coaches, Rushar, and then we got Braxton over there. So once they see how these guys carry themselves, how these guys lift weights and work out and take care of their bodies and all that good stuff, they haven't had it, bro. Like they just haven't had anybody to look down the line to and be like, okay, I see you now.
Yeah.
We haven't had that. So I think it's going to be immediate, bro. Seriously.
Our brains are going to turn into freaking instant mashed potatoes when we see what freaking that Jonah Jackson can do in the building, man. I watched him before he got injured, and then he got thrown into being a tackle. He had a really bad go over in Detroit.
Yeah, for sure.
That is why his best year was guard under Ben Johnson's watch.
And people won't mention that. Yeah.
You put him over there with Dahlman. You put him over there with Wright. He's going to be all right, man. That right side is solidified. The left side, hey, don't worry about it. You on the left bookend, you've got Thuney, and you also got Dahlman also helping out Thuney and helping out Braxton or Karan or by committee. It'll be fine. And helping out a rookie, because all these guys that the national media are telling us who to like and who's going to be NFL play ready. Remember, they're just potential. They may never be a good NFL, verifiable offensive lineman. May never, ever be, So we have no idea. But I think in that position, the best thing to do in order to fast forward and get good in a fast up-tempo way is not draft all offensive linemen. You saw what Pittsburgh did last year. They went out and drafted 3 offensive linemen. Now at the end of the season, they started to look a lot better.
They did.
But early they did not. It was rough. And we can't have Caleb do that in year 2. It would have been malpractice. When you go out and get that nice vehicle, when you go out and get that pleasure craft, that fishing boat, the bass boat, whatever it is, the yacht, you don't go out and go get 1-800 cheap insurance. You go get the best available. And that's what we went out and did. So, and that's why I'm still not, listen, guys, I still wouldn't be surprised if we went out and got a Kelvin Banks Jr. and went from 10 down to 12, 13, whatever, because they might actually have a backup tackle that they're looking at also, and, maxing out the ability to go out. I think having the 10th pick is very, very sexy, man. I think it's a good problem to have, guys.
Absolutely.
And I don't think he's over. I don't think he's done yet. I think we might end up with 9 or 10. Who knows? Hey, I'll tell you what, there are teams out there with only like 4 draft picks that they might be calling the Bears up, who knows, man, so we'll see what's going to happen. But I like what Uncle Cliff said. I like what you said. I do think that is definitely a position of need. You got to protect Caleb's blind side, especially when he might not even this year. He might still have those growing pains and not know what it's like. He might forever hold on to that ball longer than he's supposed to.
Right. That's a good point.
He's that dual threat QB, man. He likes playing in the pocket. He doesn't like running the football. No. He will if he has to, but he would rather give it to his teammates for his teammates to cook than himself. So who would you guys like on the offensive line if it was first pick in the draft or 10th pick in the draft for the Bears?
Go ahead.
We spoke on that, and I said I don't think he'll be there. But since you asked, Will Campbell, I like Will, but I really love Kelvin Banks. I like the guy. I know I sound like I'm probably surprised I don't got any like Ohio Buckeye stuff behind me because I keep spitting these Ohio. But Josh Simmons, bro, I love Josh Simmons from Ohio State. He's a unit. He got quick feet. He moves like a little guy for that big old size. So. It's a few guys out there, man. I'm not huge. I don't love Armand. Yeah, I don't love him. But again, we got coaches, man. We got real life coaches and not janitors back there. So get us some guys in there, and if the coaches like them, I feel like they can work with them. It's like with Braxton. That's why I'm willing to shut up and just listen to what anyone has to say about Braxton, because we have a real coach now. So we'll see. But yeah, those are my top three, man. Will, Kelvin Banks, and the guy Josh Simmons from Ohio State.
You know, we've talked a lot about Dennis Allen, but there's another guy in the building that I think is going to help lower that sack number down from JT. And let's talk about, look at how young he is still, guys. And that familiarity and that comfortability that he has with Caleb, and both looking at each other saying, hey, man, you know, we are more, you know, common and got familiar, you know, with each other than you think. You know, we got a lot in common here, and I think that's important. That gets overlooked, all because of the Ben Johnson approach. What do you think about that, Uncle Cliff? Do you think that's another coach that was an important hire?
Yeah, anybody. I think all the people they brought in, to me, with the experience they have, yes, absolutely, it's an important hire, no question about it. Because look at where we were at the end of the year, a dumpster fire, if you will. And I think that you know, every facet of the Chicago Bears needs a coach that's going to demand accountability and demand. And I'm saying demand, not like what we had with the Flus, where you didn't know what was expected or what was going on. Right. So I think that, you know, getting them, you know, being held accountable and discipline is also a thing. And I think that this guy is going to help out Caleb as well with that. And same thing with Ben Johnson. I think it's definitely going to be helpful. There's no question about it.
Do you have any inside info or a little bit more info on JT? Is there anything that you know about him other than the fact that we're talking about your favorite alum in Ohio State? You know, you do. That's why I saved you for last, pal. Go ahead.
No, seriously, man.
Color. Tell us his favorite color. What his favorite cut of steak he's got. I'm just kidding, bro.
No, man. Seriously, man. That's hilarious, man. But no, I mean, with JT Bear, bro, he's a mild-mannered, calm, cool, collected guy who could also, he was a dual threat guy. And I just think as far as getting letting Caleb know what he sees, and like, I know you might have felt like you had a lane to the right, but you know, from a guy who actually did it on a high level in college, he wasn't a bum in the league, but he wasn't a star either. So, you know, backup type of guy. But I think just him, you know, they don't share the same the same body type per se, but the same skill set. The same skill set. Oh, you put my guy out there. The same skill set. So I think he'll be able to relate to Caleb.
Ohio State guys here, guys. Come on.
No. It's a few guys from Ohio State I can't stand, but I do like Ohio State. I won't hold you. And they won me plenty of money before. So anywho, like, I just think from you know, seeing it from Caleb Lynn's type of guy, I can relate to you. Oh, I see why you did that. Because I don't think there was anyone in the building. Well, that's not saying much, but I'll just say it anyway. There was no one in the building last year who could be like, oh, so this is what you saw. I don't even remember our quarterback coach from last year. So, like, whatever. So you got a guy who can be like, oh, I see why. Oh, is this what you would think? Like, Caleb might come over there and maybe they had a bad down or whatever, and this fourth and they got a punt, and he's like, yeah, bro. And maybe JT will finish the sentence like, oh, you thought that guy. You know, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think, you know, maybe he can, you know, get from his perspective, and they can share, you know, similar skill set type of thing.
No, yeah, you're on point with that, brother. I'm just having a little fun because
no problem. I love it, man. Keep it light.
I had to throw a guy with a different color jersey in there, so I just threw a Randle up there, even though he's pretty solid, by the way. I got a question for you guys. This guy's not done working the phones yet. There's no way, no how he's not working he's still working the phones. And after allowing 68 sacks in 2024, what's a realistic, Uncle Cliff? What's a realistic sack allowed goal for 2025?
0. No.
Damn, Cliff. I'm retired.
What's a realistic sack goal?
Yeah.
I'm going to say probably 42.
42?
Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's a little high. I'm thinking it's gonna be better than that. I would look between the 20 and 25 to 35 range.
He hit it right on the head. What I was gonna say. Yep.
Well, now here's the deal. Here's something that I think you're starting to. I didn't give you a whole lot of time. This is kind of like a rapid fire question, not as much as the rapid fire closing that I got for you guys. That's like a 2-sentence one.
Right.
But listen to this, guys, and we're almost there. Here's the deal. We are going to have a run heavy approach in Ben Johnson. And that is where Eric Bieniemy is going to come into play. That's where Dan Rushauer's come into play. And that's where all these offensive linemen that we're still in the process of, with a fine tooth comb looking in free agency in the draft. Okay. So, and probably exploring trade options too. I wouldn't be surprised if that sack ratio went down just in the fact that we're going to be running the ball. I'd say at least in the high 40s, if not in the 50 percentile of the time. And make no mistake about it, there were games where we shouldn't have been having a quarterback throw the ball 50 times.
No, yeah. Absolutely.
That increases your numbers of getting sacked. So like you said, I liked how you quickly dropped from the 40s, down to the 20s and then 30s. I get that for sure. And it sounds like you're pretty much the same thing, Annie. You're thinking 20s, 30s.
Sliced in half, bro. Sliced in half at least. So what, 34? It should be no more than 34. That's just how I feel. That's keeping it light. I mean, with what we did up the middle, because this thing about, we got a lot of pressure off the edge, but it was a lot of times where guys just roughed them up the gut. So those things should be sliced in half, if not fewer.
Yeah, that left side, that left side.
Shout out to everyone in the chat. You guys have been lighting it up. Buck Nasty, Squeegee, all you guys. Cheryl's been given the numbers. Cubs are up 6-1 against the D-backs, man. It's been great. James Childress in the building. All you guys, thank you guys so much for showing up and showing out, man. This is what we do because we are a show created from a fan, by a fan, to fans, for fans. You don't get this in the 4-letter networks of ESPN. You don't get the four-letter networks of, CHSN, any of those, or the 3 letters of ABC, NBC, CBS. You get this right here on Chicago Sports Podcast with my boys, Annie Up, and my boy, Uncle Cliff. This is what we do. We make sure that your voice is heard, our voice is heard. This is our community. We love you guys so much. We just got so much to impact this episode and a lot of greatness. So with that being said, I want to move on to our rapid fire closing. Quick bullets. Biggest surprise this offseason. Bold 2025 prediction. Let's hear it from you, Annie Up, in 2-sentence answers. Biggest surprise this offseason.
Biggest surprise, I'm going to go.
There's got to be a period in between those sentences, by the way.
Double-digit wins.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to go 4,000 yards, Caleb.
Okay, that's the bold prediction. What about the biggest surprise this offseason for you?
Biggest surprise this offseason is going to be the number 10 pick. I don't think we know who it is, bro.
Okay.
We talking biggest surprises. What has surprised us most this offseason?
Yeah, this offseason.
Easy. The freaking Chicago Bears coaching staff. Biggest surprise. Okay. No. Now, as far as the bold prediction,
are
we talking record?
Anything.
I'm going 9 wins, 8 losses, and Caleb over 4,000 yards.
Yeah, I like it.
I love it. That's great. My biggest surprise this offseason is I wanted like a offensive lineman, and we ended up getting so many. That was my biggest surprise this offseason.
That's a good one.
I play left tackle, so I'm always going to be, narrow. And, when I watch with Jim Miller, he goes, Trax, why are you always looking at the offensive lineman? There's a big old field out there past 5 yards. I'm just like, really? There's a bigger field? I said, if I look too far, I might get tired because those offensive linemen, we don't like to go down the field. No, but seriously, man, I'm just so refreshed at that. And I felt like there was more to come after that. I felt like we were in for some really good surprises. Like, I really think that the attention to detail and looking through the offensive line and defensive line let us know that this is a whole different approach, something that we're not used to. And like Uncle Cliff said, it's been 20, 30 years, like 3 decades of like
too freaking long
suckage. You know, this guy's got a freaking darn near pickled liver after these Bears. No, just kidding. But
I'm tired of embracing the suck. That's
I'm
over.
tired of embracing the suck.
I refuse to embrace the suck anymore.
Yeah, wasn't there a shirt that said "Let's not suck" or something?
Yeah,
or don't suck?
If not, I'm getting one.
If not, we're freaking labeling it, right?
Right.
Oh man. Yeah, man. All great thoughts, all great takes, you know. Squeegee. Let's see. Oh, Squeegee says Declan Doyle. There's a name that that's brought up that is an interesting name. I have not heard a whole lot about him. I did hear from Taylor Dahl, who's down there in Jacksonville, and she's for Helmets and Heels. She covers, she's a Bears fan. She's from Hobart, Indiana, been a Bear fan her whole life. She still covers the Bears for Windy City Gridiron, Second City, but she also works full-time for Helmets and Heels down there for Jacksonville Jaguars on the radio. She said that Declan Doyle, she cringed when we got Declan Doyle. She said, keep him away from Caleb. I guess the issue with Declan, and this might have just been a character type thing, but the long hair, the blonde lock hair down there in Jacksonville, the quarterback.
Yep.
There was an issue with Declan and him, and she felt like in areas not only what he said but what he did, kind of like Trevor Lawrence, yeah, kind of regressed him. So,
really?
She's not the type to like throw. I've never heard her throw, and I don't even really think that she's talking bad about him. She's just reporting what is a known factor down there. So, and like Ben's hands on it, I trust that he's going to handle that differently and all of that. But that's the only thing I've heard out of Declan Doyle, and that's not good. So I'm sorry. I wish I had something better to share.
No, that's not good.
No. So, but I think there's enough people in there to help. And that goes back to what Cliff said. Anybody that can help out Caleb in company is good in his book. And that's good in my book too, for sure. I like the fact that we have a backup or not a backup, but I like the fact that we have an assistant offensive line coach also. Isn't that cool, guys?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We need it.
Right.
In case he goes down.
Right.
Yeah. Caleb says, or James says about Caleb, over 4,000 yards, 14-3. Whoa. 14-3. Dang, bro. Clemson division and playoff push. Wow.
Hey,
that's
I'd be happy with that.
Yes.
Dude, bro, that's awesome.
Hey, let's think about it. Detroit lost a lot. The Vikings are the Vikings. We still don't know if that quarterback is going to be good. The Packers are the Packers. Jordan Love is like stuck in neutral. This division has done a little shift since last season already. So,
yeah, I think so too. I think they've already moved on, and I think there's some good things going on. What else is exciting about you guys that you guys have seen really quickly out there? There's so much goodness to unpack. I mean, really, you don't get all of this in an off season. It's crazy how hard they've been working over there, guys.
Right now, the most exciting thing for me right now is that next Thursday, number 10 pick. That I'm
talk to him, Uncle Cliff.
Draft. I am so psyched up for that.
I am.
And I would not be unhappy if they traded back. I wouldn't. But I don't want them to trade up. I don't think they should. They need the draft capital in my eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And they know it.
Yeah. They've still got some issues. And I want to make sure those issues are addressed. Or if not, the depth. Making sure we got the depth.
Yeah.
Big uglies. That's what I'm looking for. The big uglies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow, Squeegee. Wow. Jeez. All right. So yeah, I think like you said, you need to what do you call it? Definitely shore up all areas, make sure everybody's present and accounted for. What do you guys think about that hire with the third string QB? You guys like that? From
Oh, Case Keenum.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a move. Heck, I mean, did we have a vet on in our QB room last year?
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh,
oh my God. So yeah, we were. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So thank you. Get somebody who's stuck around this league, who's played some valuable ball. He's been in the playoffs. I mean, we needed that bad. I don't understand why we didn't have it last year. That's crazy. I do understand, but
yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. The fact that we didn't have somebody last season when you bring in a rookie is shame on the coaching staff.
Yeah,
that was
super
an abysmal dumpster fire of a coaching staff. I'm glad they're gone. Should have been gone before they drafted Caleb, but that's in the past. So now it's time to move forward, look forward. And I think, like I said, for me, the offseason was a victory when we got Ben Johnson and that incredible coaching.
Absolutely.
Staff. So hopefully they can do some damage, let's say, in the North. I want to take back the North and never give it back, right, Ryan?
It's Ryan.
But where are we with that, to be honest with you? I mean, does it happen right away and it's all season, or do you think that could happen towards the end of the season, or do you think that like this could happen like where you show growth and development this year and know that eventually we're going to be taking that back? You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense to you?
I think, I know exactly what you're saying. And I think we ended the season by beating the frickin' Packers. How great was that?
Mm-hmm.
That started it all. And then we got rid of that dumpster fire of a coaching staff. And then we got what I'm looking at to be like an all-star coaching staff.
Yeah.
And I think that we've already started it with the three up the middle, Jackson, Dahmer, and Tooney. Getting those guys was a definite step in the right direction.
For sure.
So I think it's going to be starting off the season. I think we are going to see a very intense football team. I want to see the nasty, the grit, and the, as they would say, slobberknocker football,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to happen. And I think it's not going to take too long to take that North back.
Hey, really quickly before my phone dies, because I had to look up the text message from Taylor Dahl. She actually was talking about somebody named Press. He got Peterson fired multiple times now. Part of that is on Doug for not taking back play calling, but Press made Trevor worse, and the offense was mad.
You're talking about Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, but we're talking about this guy named Press. Yeah. No. Some Press. I said, why don't you like Press Taylor?
Press Taylor. Oh, yeah. I don't know much about that guy.
Did we pick up Press Taylor, or was he on the radar but we didn't get him? She was talking about Press Taylor in Jacksonville, so that's where because you remember we were recording several guys at the same time. This was back in January of 31. Yeah, so this was back then. But yeah, she was talking about Press Taylor.
Yeah, we got him, bro.
Yeah, so that's the guy. It's not Declan Doyle. It was Press Taylor. So that was the guy. She said that he made Doug worse and potentially got him fired and very unpredictable. Luckily, he's not calling plays, but also hope he doesn't have his paws too much on Caleb. So Press Taylor, again, she's very awesome, really good caretaker for her grandparents and stuff. Really great lady. Like I said, she never really speaks ill of anybody, but that's just something that she reported on Press Taylor because she's down there in Jacksonville. I just had the two names mixed up because there was so many. Listen, guys, we had so many switches all at the same time, lots of guys coming in, lots of guys leaving, we had a guy that got freaking canned because I don't know if you guys knew this or not yet, but did you know that there was actually some like crazy stuff going on in Soldier Field where they actually got all their mowing equipment stolen?
No.
Yeah, there was all kinds of stuff going on. It was crazy, dude. It was a crazy year.
Doesn't surprise me.
But real quick, guys, real quick. I feel like it's going to be real fast. I think we're coming out of the gates blasting, man. I'm just being honest. I told you I don't feel like the NFC North is as strong as it was last year. I feel like a lot of guys are scrambling, trying to find pieces and patch holes. You don't know how Ben Johnson is going to come out. He's a first-year coach, so I think we got one up on him with that. So what's that? That's 6 games in the division. And think about this: we had a dumpster fire of a coaching staff with all the things that were going on. The O line was trash, and we still were losing games by because the defense couldn't get stops. And they were blowing them. And Caleb would have game-winning drives that they would blow, and then the coaching staff would call stupid stuff. We still could have been much better team than we were, and that was last year. So I just wanted to get that one off.
And to your point, James Childers brings up a good point about this year. Beating the Packers on their home turf was icing on the cake and ended the season on a high note.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
With that team. Yes.
Well, I bet you that was Uncle Cliff's favorite crescendo of the season, man.
Are you kidding me? We got a group that gets my buddy, my neighbor down the road here. We got a group of 5 of us here. We're in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Awesome.
Big Bear fans. And we go over to his garage and we're hanging out. Well, the last time the Bears beat the Packers, Derek and I were at Soldier Field. We saw that game. And then 6 years? Are you kidding me? And I was like, after we lost the first game, I was like, I am not watching another freaking Bears-Packer game again. I'm not going to do it until we have a team. And then these guys suckered me into watching that game. And yes, it was fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah. Just a little backstory about me and my crazy Bear fans.
Well, I'll tell you what, I will be in Fort Wayne here in the near future because I dropped my soundboard, which is from StreamYard in Fort Wayne.
Going over to Sweetwater?
Yeah, I got to go over there. So I might pay you a little visit and get a cold frosty one with you.
Dude, give me a holler. I can take you to a few places.
Oh, awesome. Take your time fixing this. If it's still fixed early, break it again and then fix it again.
Right.
I'll be a little Cliff. I will for sure, man. Hey, man, it's been an honor. We were going to do a mock draft, but maybe we'll save that for Sunday or the next day. We got to get out of here. We got to get back to things. You got to get over there. They're going to throw out an alert and a smoke signal for you on that Cubs game. They're waiting on you over there, Uncle Cliff.
They ain't waiting. Trust me, they aren't waiting. They don't wait.
All right, guys.
A pleasure. Annie Up is a great time hanging with you.
Great time, Uncle.
Always a pleasure. So please, guys, have a good one.
All right, guys, take it easy. Enjoy your weekend, man.
I'll tell you what, really quickly, Uncle Cliff. I mean, dude, this guy surprises me early out of the gate, man. I really like this Annie Up, man.
All right, let's do it. More to come, baby. Just wait till the season starts. So you get all the raw emotions and stuff.
Oh, man. Yeah. All right. We'll have to
guys.
parties on here. All right, guys. Bear down.
Have a good one, man. Bear down.
Bear down.